Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of the Lewa Show. We're coming to you from the International Convention Centre in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Thank you for joining me once again. We've got some beautiful ladies here today. How are you all?
Good, thank you.
You don't look nervous at all, not even the slightest. Are you feeling nervous?
Very.
All right, guys, be nice to them. They're a little nervous, but you've seen them, you've seen pictures of them, you've seen their work, and they are very, very successful in your own right. So thank you all for your time today. Maybe I'll just get you to introduce yourselves one by one. Is that all right?
Hi everyone, my name is Estelle. I am the owner of Easters Cosmetics, a brand founded in Beijing, China. I'm also a freelance makeup artist.
Thank you,
So glad
Estelle.
to be here.
My name is Sybil. I'm 28 years old and I'm a model.
Thank you, Sybil.
Oh,
I love your earrings.
Thank
and your
you.
lipstick and the afro. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. It's back.
That was amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara Soy. I'm a freelance model and I'm 24 years old.
Thank you, Tara. And your earrings, where are they from?
This is from Oral.
Love it. Those famous tapa prints. Hey?
Beautiful.
Yes.
And you?
All right. Hi, my name is Christine Reynolds. I'm 20 years old and I'm also a freelance model.
Thank you. Your lashes look bomb.
Thank
Are they real?
No, are they real?
I was gonna be like, where'd you get them from? Beautiful. Thank you all so much for joining me. So we could just start off by maybe sharing how long you've been in the industry for. I think one of the main reasons why we decided to invite you on the show is to bring light to the industry, the creative arts industry, and of course, talent, modeling, fashion, that's all a very big part of the industry, and there's a lot of gray lines sometimes, and with the talent, if it's okay for me to say, sometimes you are overlooked in the greater picture, and it's a growing industry, and I think it's an industry that deserves attention because it's a paid job. All around the world, models are very well taken care of, they're paid very well. Depends on you as a model in terms of what you want to book, what kind of jobs you want to book, and really to know your value and how much you should be remunerated for that, apart from the experience. So Tara and Sybil, I know that you're the pioneers in this industry in Papua New Guinea. You've been modeling since 2012.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
7
we
years.
How has that been?
You go first.
I mean, don't rush to answer the question.
It's been a really wonderful experience. I mean, it brings out a lot of things that you never thought that, you know, you saw in yourself, but other people, you know, could see the potential in you. So it's been an amazing experience. I mean, got to meet a lot of different people, a lot of designers. I wasn't able to travel anywhere. I might soon, I hope. But yeah, it's been a good experience.
So why modeling, Sybil? What got you into this industry?
Well, before modeling, I loved singing. And then I was like, okay, singing, I can't maybe look good. I should do it.
Like this?
Yeah, so Fiji Fashion Week came in 2012 and I got an invitation to audition and I did, and it was successful, and that's where I met Tara. Yeah. Wow. And since then it was okay with a lot of challenges.
So the first real job you would say was started in 2012 with the Fiji Fashion Week?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Have you seen any of the fashion shows, Estelle?
In Papua New Guinea.
Yeah,
Not
or even
yet,
in the Pacific?
unfortunately.
Not yet?
Yeah, just overseas.
Okay. And how would you say, in comparison with overseas, what has been your opinion of the whole industry and in terms of where we are at now?
I think Papua New Guinea has a lot of potential. If we really come together and work hard as a community, I believe we can go really far. Yeah, the fashion industry out there is very developed. So I see that, and then I see here, and I believe that we can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
together.
potential
Yeah.
to grow.
Yes.
Because we have so much diversity.
Yeah.
There's diversity in all like our looks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's and that's the three of you have distinct looks, right? This is the baby of the group, young Christine. So Christine started in 2017.
Yes.
Is that right? And what was your first job as a model?
First job, we did the Miss MPIP,
The Project
the
Runway.
Project Runway. So we did that in 2017 at Crown Plaza. So I went under Taboo.
Taboo, yes.
Yes. So that's where I started off. But apart from that, well, after that day, that night, I started getting invitations to model.
Yes.
And then gigs after that. So it's been a very challenging, but I think it's a really good way where like young girls like me especially can get to know ourselves, and it helps us discipline ourselves. People can see it as a way of, people don't really understand it, I'll say. They think that, oh, we're just there to go and show our bodies off and our faces. But in actual fact, it helps us discipline ourselves. So, yeah, I think it has really helped me for the past 3 years. Yeah, as a lady. Thank you.
That was
well spoken.
beautiful.
I've got 100 million more questions here, and I've just been given the secret to wrap this segment up, but we'll be right back. You are watching The Lewa Show. We'll be right back with more. Back to the Lewa Show. We're coming to you from the International Convention Centre in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. And we just had introductions from these beautiful ladies. And I just want to go back to what you said. I liked what you said, Christine, about being disciplined, because it is a job. And I've seen your transition, because when I first met you, I was one of the ones that took you under my wing. In terms of, you were just a young girl who was still in school, mind you, and then juggling. You had a job at the gym, a gym that I used to go to, best gym. I don't know why they closed it down. Anyway, that's different. That's a different session. And then you decided to take on the modeling. And honestly, I've seen you grow, right? I know you have a full-time job.
Yes.
It's a balancing act.
Yes.
How's that going for you?
It's stressful, it's tiring. I mean, you have to get a lot of rest and, you know, make sure that you're able to, you know, still have that energy to go to work and then go to rehearsals or go do an event. So it takes a lot of, you know, a lot of discipline.
A lot of discipline, yes. With the good, of course, comes the bad.
Yeah.
Now, we all know.
Yes, she's like, yes.
You've been waiting for this question.
I've been waiting.
So this is the part where I just thought we should share maybe some of the bad things that have happened, and then bring light to what we can do, and Estelle can contribute as well. So maybe Sibyl, if you wanted to start, what have you had any bad experiences of late in terms of your career in modeling?
Yeah, I have. Since 2012, it was a breeze. Everything was okay. And then in 2016, I contested for Miss World PNG. And after that, that was last year, 2017, I was asked to do a photo shoot with PNG Air. And everything that we wore was from designer Sebastian. And yeah, I had an outfit that clearly showed my thigh, and it wasn't okay to the public, to the audience that saw it after the photos came out. But being a model, and you know, I've done a lot of these things, so wearing those things, those kind of outfits it didn't bother me, you know, because I know what I'm doing, and I know why I'm doing it. I'm like selling this outfit for the designer, and also I'm doing my portfolio. So, but you know, because of our society, we're still attached to our culture, and so the fashion industry is a new thing in PNG. So it's going to be hard for Papua New Guineans to let go of our cultures and traditions to grab hold of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe not let go of it entirely, but maybe just being a little bit more accommodating.
Yeah.
Would you say, Estelle? I mean, you've seen a lot of that overseas.
There's been a lot of body shaming as well in the
Yeah.
modeling industry. And I feel like so many models, they feel the need to try to look a certain way. Because if you don't, then you get bullied and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And there's models everywhere. You know, there's plus size models, there's hair models, there's, face models, there's the full package like you three. There's different branches of modeling. I think once you really look into the industry and understand the industry, then it can grow. Would you agree, Tara? Have you had similar experiences?
No, but I've had friends that have gone through that. Yeah, Sybil's one of them. But I'm so proud of you. Like she held herself very well throughout that whole thing.
Thanks, Tara.
But yeah, it's tough. I mean, you have 8 billion people looking at you,
true.
and you're just exposed. But like, remember that you have to be confident with who you are, comfortable in your own skin, and that's when like it won't faze you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christine? No bad experiences?
No bad experiences, but the same. I've had friends.
Yeah.
Of course, Seville and some other girls. But I think it's just our mindset, It's the way people think. Yes, we can be influenced with, our culture and our traditions. However, we should have at least space for compromising, Putting
Well,
in
it's a job.
collaborating, the modern and the traditional. Yeah, so that's my idea or thought.
So I'd imagine you were hit hard on social media. And girl, can I just say, I've been hit hard so many times. I mean, to all of you that have talked hate to me, thank you, because I sit here because of you. And for you, I know in that time you would have seen it as a big negative, but how much more did your profile grow?
Oh, when that happened, people expected me to feel low, and not encourage myself to go on. But that was like a hit and a stepping stone for myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it happened, I got invitations for shows and photo shoots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those keyboard warriors that spend time typing all day, talking bad about other people, actually contribute to your growth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
And you turn that around. I think everyone will agree. You've made
Yeah.
that a positive.
Exactly. I would never want anything to, stop me from doing what I love.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I held my head high and continued to do it, and I'm still doing it. So
Fantastic, and you shouldn't stop doing it, all of you. We'll be back after this because I've got some makeup questions, and I'm sure you have some questions for Estelle as well. Because this industry, if we can all agree, is a collaboration of many, many different things to help it to grow. And you're a big part of that, and so is looking good, right? I mean, you can't rock up to a photo shoot looking half done.
yeah.
You're watching The Lewa Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Lewa Show. We're coming to you from the International Convention Centre in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Thank you, ladies. So we talked about the bad, that's done, and you turned it into a positive. So that's what life is about, learning from the experience and moving on. Estelle, so how did you become a makeup artist?
Actually, it came out it's more of a passion to me. I really like doing myself, and then I did makeup on my friends. That's how I practiced like my makeup sessions, and I learned from YouTube too.
Gotta love YouTube.
Gotta love YouTube.
Can't live without
Yeah,
YouTube.
so-
Thank you, YouTube.
I think it all started when I saw like my friends feeling good about themselves, and that encouraged me to
continue to do that, pursue that. Yeah.
So passion. That's the same with all of you, right?
Yeah.
Got a passion for the industry.
More of a passion.
So how do you think makeup and, you know, the doing up of the face or getting your face beat, as they say,
Yeah.
how important is that for a model? It depends on the brief too, I guess.
Yeah, makeup is very important in the fashion industry. Like, you really cannot do without it. And it depends on the type of costume or what they're wearing too. Sometimes the makeup has to be really crazy, sometimes very simple. Yeah, so I feel like a makeup artist's job is very important. It brings out the designs they're wearing and the costumes or whatever they're wearing, yeah. So I think that makeup artists play a very important role in the fashion industry.
I agree.
Yeah.
Has that been readily available, Tara, for you, in your experience?
Yeah, well, usually when we do shows, yes. So makeup is provided with hair. I think all we need to bring our heels, but apart from that,
It's provided.
yeah, it's provided.
And you said you founded in China, or you started in China? Did you
Yeah,
say?
I went over to China for studies, and then that's how I came across makeup. And from there, I was invited to do fashion shows. I did about 6 shows so far. Yes, and it was a really good experience for me. I got to work with different skin tones, people from different ethnicities, and it was a really good experience.
See, that's the question that you and I were talking about, Christine, about the matching. Have you been going with that? Because you know you've got a fair complexion.
Well, I guess some makeup artists can't really like, you know, because there's like different tones and
It comes back to our diversity of the look.
Some can really work with your skin, some can't.
Some
but
can't.
sometimes models can complain, so we just go with whatever flows, you know.
Try to make it look
You
good.
cannot go with whatever flow.
I complain, so.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, because if so you just tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You know, when you're applying the makeup, it looks really different when you've got the bright lights and then when someone takes a picture.
That's right.
Yeah. So what is it that they're doing wrong?
I think it really depends on the type of products that they use. You should really use a product that will match well with the skin tone. If you're gonna go against very bright lights, you could maybe tone down the makeup a bit or maybe enhance it even more. Yeah, so it really depends on the makeup artist's skills as well.
And I think it depends on the type of event or the
Yeah,
type
that
of
type
show,
of
what
show.
they want.
Yeah, that's right.
I know you'd be looking like a ghost. I think it's too much powder as well.
Is that because you're fair, and then if they're trying to make you look fairer than you actually are, I mean, you're going to be looking like a.
Yeah. Or they even make me look like, you know, like dark complex girls. They make us look like dolls. So I think it's a good thing that she's here to tell us how to do it.
Is that something that you'd be interested in? Maybe sharing to teach them in the long term,
I'd
as
really
opposed
love
to.
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. There
I've
you go,
actually
guys.
done a class before,
Oh, wow.
but not yet in PNG, no. But I'd love to. Yeah.
So just a quick makeup tip for them to watch out for in terms of the darker complexion.
I feel like you should take your own makeup products if you have the luxury of doing that. Like if you can, then you should. But otherwise, I feel like you should try to go as natural as you can. Yeah.
So like enhance your
Enhance
beauty.
your beauty, yeah. Try not to cake yourself up too much, yeah.
I mean, you guys don't need makeup anyway. Seriously. Great. We've got another segment coming up after this. I hope our producer lets us go. I've got to ask you what your recommendations are in terms of where we can grow the industry. So honest answers, because we do need that. I feel that the industry is at a bit of a halt. Would you all agree?
Yeah.
Or are you just gonna like throw me under the bus right now? For the viewers to be like, oh, Lewa thinks this. But I do think it's at a halt.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from 2012 where we started,
Yeah, from there.
that's when it started to grow, and then it just like went and stopped like halfway, I would say.
Halfway
Not really, yeah.
Picked up again.
And it's just at a halt there, yeah.
So we need to get it moving, get
Yeah.
this rolling. Okay, all right. You're watching the Lewa Show. You're going to want to hear from these ladies in terms of their recommendations of how we can grow this industry and move forward in Papua New Guinea. Welcome back. You're watching the Lewa Show, and we had a wonderful discussion with these ladies about the creative arts industry, especially to do with the models and, of course, makeup. Now, as a way of concluding today's show, I just wanted to know if you had any recommendations based on your experience, because the industry is not something that's been monitored. You know, it doesn't have an authority in place that monitors what everyone is doing in the industry. So recently there has been a lot of discussion about that, but I think in terms of the models, we don't really have anything set in stone as to, you know, what your rights are. I mean, do you know what your rights are as models in this country? No. And so you would find out by probably researching overseas and seeing what the models are entitled to over there. And then sometimes that doesn't necessarily apply to here, right? So who wants to go first? Your recommendation as to how this industry can grow from your experience as a model, and then we will go across to Estelle and talk about the makeup side of things, or the beauty.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
Thank you, Sibel.
Thank you too, Tara.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I believe it's advertisement, you know, promotion. Since 2012, there was nothing. So, country as a whole doesn't know what's going on with modeling. And when we want to do it, and things go, like our photos go online or on magazines, it turns out that we get negative response to that. So, from my point of view is that I think our television should have maybe like a day or two for fashion shows that run in Papua New Guinea. And if it's not enough, then we could have some shows from the international runways. In that way, also for magazines, you know, there's a lot of models in Papua New Guinea, girls and boys together. So we could make issues of the models in the magazine every month, you know. In that way it goes out and everyone is aware. So like, oh, okay, so that's what's happening. Now I know. So it's gonna be like
she
a
wasn't
norm.
just wearing that walking on the tarmac and then all of a sudden pose for a
right.
photo.
And you know, we have billboards like the one in Vision City, traffic light. Instead of using international models, we have our own. So you could use our models. And in that way they get used to it. And so it becomes a norm. And then it goes smoothly for everyone and the fashion industry.
That's fantastic. That's a really good way to look at it. So awareness, and then in that way promotions, because sometimes you don't really understand what's going on on ground, and then you see pictures go out. I mean, you weren't just photographing yourself in a room.
No.
Yeah.
Tara?
Like, I think I would say it's all about the awareness. Like usually when it comes to events or photo shoots, it's usually for someone, for the designer or for the company or the brand that you're representing. So they're not really, like, we're not really aware of
there's nothing.
What's happening, what the models, like this coming on this show, this is the first of its kind, like that I've seen. Like actually bringing light to the models and their experiences, what they go through, all the hard work they have to put in.
It's not easy.
Yeah, the time we have to sacrifice.
Oh my God.
And all of that.
Diet you have to go on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's awareness to make it acceptable.
Exactly.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. Yes, awareness to make it acceptable.
Yeah.
And to look at it as a job. It's a paid job.
Yeah,
you
it
get paid
is.
to do it like everything else. Christine?
I think flexibility, you know, like sometimes when we work for clients or for designers, I think there should be like a little bit of compromisation between like what the models are comfortable doing and what the designers or the clients want of the models to be doing. I mean, it's all right. Sometimes they go a little out and crazy and dramatic, but I think when the models and the designers get to know themselves and really work together, yeah, I think there should be like an understanding there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that comes back to having that authority that looks after the models. You know, there's no. You don't have managers, do you?
No. I don't know if you would.
Well, when we started for the 2012 show, there was an agency that was set before everything. That was the Plush 65 talent agency. I think that was run by Juanita
Daniel.
and Carol, and I think Janet. I forgot their surnames, but yeah, that was run by them, and then it just kind of like died down. And then we have, I think, 2 agencies that are now open, like out there, that the models usually go to for the shows. So one of them would be the
Palm Fashion and Design Week.
PNG Fashion and Design Week, and the M&K Talents.
Oh yeah.
I was part of an agency.
Here in the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was with Trends, but it was Trends Asia Pacific, so it was TAP agency. So it was going well to have someone to manage everything we did, you know, modeling and how to do it, how much should I get paid, all that stuff. So yeah, it was good, and it died out because the manager left the country for Peru.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So would you be open to say if there was a talent agency that opened up in the country, obviously had to have credibility and reputable, is that something you'd consider, or do you prefer to freelance on your own?
I think I would consider a manager.
Yeah, I would too, and you know, eventually sign a contract.
Yes.
So if I'm or my friends are underpaid, then we have the agency to
Step in.
Step
you know,
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important, don't you think, Estelle?
Yeah, I think so too. Very important. Yeah.
To have a foundation.
Yeah.
There has to be agreements in place.
Yeah, because sorry, Lewa.
No, that's fine.
Before a show, there's actually like how many numbers of weeks that we go for rehearsals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can have rehearsals for like
2
3
months,
months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like every second day or every Saturday of the week, or
Yeah.
so yeah, and I even
you need to be compensated for that time.
exactly our time and effort.
Effort.
Yeah, it has to be compensated. I've googled international modeling agencies, and they pay the models for the hour they're there for rehearsals. So I think having an agency in place would boost the industry. You know. Yeah.
I agree. I think there should definitely be an authoritative body that
Exactly.
monitors and manages, especially the models, and then the moving parts that are associated with you as a model. And then individually, you should have an agent to negotiate on your behalf, because some of those things you might not be aware of.
Yeah.
And of course, if it's going to be something that you're going to make a living out of, you'd need to have a surety that you will book jobs.
Exactly.
Otherwise, there really is no purpose in doing something if
Yeah.
there's no return. Quickly before we go, Estelle, how do you think the beauty in terms of getting them to look a certain way or to meet the client's brief, should that be monitored as well in terms of, because there's a lot of freelance makeup artists, and then there's the big boys, the big players.
That's right. Yeah, I feel like we should also set up some kind of structure for the beauty industry. I mean, in Papua New Guinea right now, makeup is very new. There are not so many local women, like PNG women, doing makeup and everything. Like you said, most of them do freelancing. And then you have big brands like Trends, they also do makeup and all that. And I feel like as it grows, we might also need to put those things into place. Yeah.
Very important. There you have it. There are the recommendations from these wonderful ladies. We are talking about issues that maybe not many people wanted to talk about before because it's not an easy thing to do. It is a growing industry and we all want to see this industry grow and flourish because we've got so much culture and so much to show. And like you said, the looks, the models have certain looks that you won't find anywhere else around the world.
True.
You're watching. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today once again. It's not easy to do what you all did, so I really appreciate your time, and the team here appreciates you and your work. So please continue, don't stop. If you've got haters, just keep going. It's just motivation to get to the end goal. So you're all fabulous. Before I get emotional.
Thank you.
We'll get you all to say where people can find you, because now I'm sure they're going to want to hear from you more. So please let them know where to find you. And of course, if you've got any last words, please do share.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank Lewa for having me on the show. It's been a great pleasure. You could follow me on Facebook, Makeup by Estelle. If you need makeup, you can follow me there. And my makeup line, Esther's Cosmetics.
I'd also like to say thank you to Lewa for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
I giggled because I was like, the Lewa team.
For business, you can find me on Instagram, B New Guinea. It's BEE and New Guinea. I'm on YouTube too. It's Billy. My Facebook is It's Billy. And my TikTok is It's Billy.
Fantastic. Nice and easy.
Thank you, Lewa and the Lewa Show. You can find me on Instagram at tsoy. So that's TEE_soy SOI.
All right, so I'd like to thank Lewa and the Lewa Show crew. If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram, 1012 Karaitiana. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining me once again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know where to find them now. If you'd like to book them, go ahead, check out their profiles. And of course, we will see you next time on another edition of The Lewa Show.